Hey guys, what is up? It's MAZIE with Barbecue by MAZIE. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, well, thanks so much. And if you are coming back, I really appreciate the support. Today, I have got a nice rack of baby back ribs from Open Prairie Natural meats. You've seen me use their meat before. It's such good quality, and I am itching to get this rack of ribs on the smoker today. I don't love the 3-2-1 method. I know that's pretty common, but for me, the ribs just get a little bit overdone. So what I like to do is just wrap them for less time. So it comes out being about a 3-1-1 cook time. I'll break down what I do. Okay, so I'm gonna stop yapping. Let's get these ribs prepped and on the Pit Boss Navigator. This is a nice meaty rack of ribs. Open Prairie Natural Meats just has really good quality meat, so I don't have to worry about finding good meaty ribs when I'm using their product. But if you're at the store looking for ribs, just make sure you're checking out to see that the rack you're picking has some good meat on it. All right, so I like to remove the membrane on my ribs, and I just use the back of the spoon, and I like to start in the middle and lift the membrane up and remove it that way. So I just get under it and just kind of lift it away from that bone. You don't have to do this. If you don't want to remove it, you can score it, and that just kind of makes it easier to bite. But I use a paper towel because it's a little slippery. I'm just pulling up from the middle, working my way under the membrane. Got it pulled clean up, and I'm just going to keep pulling. Okay, so the membrane's off, and now we're just going to season them. I season my ribs before I even turn the smoker on. Once they're seasoned, I'll turn the smoker on and just let this rub kind of sit and sweat out on the ribs. I do use mustard as a binder. I just think it helps the rubs stick a little better. And I also didn't do any trimming on these ribs. They looked good to me, but if you see pockets that have a lot of fat, go ahead and trim that off. Okay, flip her over and do the other side. Spread it around. You can trim this side off. It's going to cook a little faster just since it's not as big. I'm just going to leave it. You could trim that off, stick it in the smoker with the rest of the rack, and then it would just get done a little sooner, and that's a little snack for you. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. This is gonna be a real nice rack. Okay, I've got the Pit Boss smoker heating up to 225. My ribs are just sitting out. That rub's just gonna kind of sweat it out and stick to the ribs real nice. Oh, smoke bath, smoke bath, smoke bath. Doesn't that smell great? I'm gonna smell real nice today. Okay, once that smoker heats up to 225, I'm going to throw on the ribs, and they are just going to smoke for 3 hours, unwrap. I'm going to spritz the ribs as needed. When they start to look dry, I'm going to spritz with apple juice, but other than that, I'm not going to mess with them, and they're just gonna lay in the smoker and do their thing. Oh, I hear the fire. Isn't this wonderful? What else would you rather be doing today? Nothing. Nothing. Okay, the Pit Boss is heated up and ready for these ribs, so I'm going to throw them on. The firebox is right in the middle, so I don't want to put the ribs right over the main heat source, so I just put them to the left. I like to kind of bunch the bones together. Man, those look real nice. I can't wait. Okay, and I've got this less meaty end even further away from the heat because I know it's going to cook faster anyways, so it's not rocket science, but it is kind of like it. So that's it. I'm gonna shut the lid and go crack a nice cold Diet Coke. Okay, back out at the ribs, you can tell that the bark is kind of starting to dry out a little bit. So I've just got a spray bottle of apple juice. And I'm just gonna spritz it, kind of help build that bark. And it's been about an hour and a half, so I'll come back in 1 more hour to see if they need spritzed again. just pulled these ribs off the smoker. I'm gonna give this one more spritz. Look at that beautiful color. Okay, I've got my foil ready to go. I've got brown sugar, honey, and butter. I'm gonna put the ribs meat side down, just like that. And I'm going to wrap. Just want to make sure your wrap is nice and tight so all that moisture stays inside. We're basically steaming the ribs now. Okay, back on the smoker, and I increased the temperature to 250 degrees, so we're just gonna let these smoke for another hour or so. So you're gonna unwrap. Oh my gosh, these look so good. Look at that. Okay, so all we're going to do now is take the ribs. I'm gonna drain this liquid off the back here, and the rack of ribs is gonna go back on the smoker. I'm gonna leave it at 250 for about another hour or until finished. There's one hot potato. So putting them back on the smoker right now is going to kind of just help set that bark again, and then we will sauce them in about the last 15 to 20 minutes. So we've just got one more hour. So let's check out these ribs. They were on the smoker for a little bit more than an hour. Check out that color, a nice mahogany color. They're nice and bendy, floppy. They bend without completely breaking in the middle there. So now I'm going to put my sauce on and then leave them on the smoker to let that sauce set up. All right, so I'm just gonna take my sauce and pour it right on the top of the rib. It's gonna get a little messy. If you don't wanna get your smoker messy, just take your ribs off and do this part. I'm just gonna spread that around. Look how yummy that looks. We're just going to let that sauce set in for about another 15 to 20 minutes. That sauce has had time to get set up on the ribs. Check out that beautiful color. I'm gonna pull this rack of ribs off and slice them up. Okay, I've got the ribs all sliced up. A quick tip on cutting ribs: if you flip them over and you can see the bone side, makes it super easy to slice your ribs. So from start to finish that cook, we did 3.5 hours at 225. I then wrapped them for 1 hour at 250 and unwrapped for another hour, still at 250. So it was about a 3.5, 1-1. I did want to make one quick point. If you're cooking multiple racks of ribs, or if your ribs get finished before you're ready to eat them, you can wrap them in foil, wrap it in a towel, and then put it in an empty cooler, and it should be good for about another hour to hour and a half. But I'm not waiting. I'm gonna dive right in and eat these ribs. Again, I just want to remind you, this was baby back ribs from Open Prairie Natural Meats. Let me just show you how meaty these ribs really are. If you ever have the chance to buy an Open Prairie Natural product, highly recommend. All right, I gotta get in there. That glaze is looking so nice. Okay. Woo! Perfect. Finger looking good. Okay, for me, that rib has the perfect bite to it. It bites right off the bone. So nice. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today while we smoked this rack of baby back ribs from Open Prairie Natural Meats. Drop a comment below and let me know what method you use to cook your ribs. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, ta-ta for now.